Welcome to the Iowa Girls High School State Volleyball Championships from the U.S. Cellular Center Arena in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Today's broadcast is brought to you on the Mid-American Energy Iowa High School Sports Network. Also brought to you by the Iowa Pork Producers Association and the Fairway Food Stores. Now, the State High School Volleyball Championship matches on CISN.TV.
Set match point.
Danielson here with Brian Carlisle. You saw Kemper win in their set and the match here today, and Wednesday wrap-up show, Brian, and quite a day here at the U.S. Cellular Center in Cedar Rapids.
You know, originally when we got down here, you know, you get to the smaller schools, 3A, 2A, 1A, but I tell you what, just as good at volleyball. Excellent action out here all night. It actually started this morning at 10 o'clock with Union as they went 3-0, Mount Vernon over Sioux Center 3-1. Really good early stuff from there. And then on the other side over here on court 2, you guys had some good ones as well.
Yeah, we saw a lot of these first-time teams coming in facing some veterans. That was Dykno Hartford, North Polk. North Polk jumped out winning that first set, and then Dykno Hartford started coming back, and North Polk found themselves in the big spotlight in their first time down here and had a little trouble, and Dykno Hartford goes on to win that one 3-1, and several of those type of matchups today.
Yeah, and you know, as we wrapped up and we put the finishing touches on 3A, when we jumped over to 2A, that disparity, I think, stood out more than anything to me. And that was really when you started looking at teams like Western Christian. Mm-hmm. And I tell you what, I'd take that team and go play some 5 and 4A schools. They're that good. They came in, took Grundy Center 3-0, and then some pretty good stuff later. Central Lyon and St. Albert 3-0 as well. Council Bluffs moves on. And then on that other side, you had a couple of pretty good ones with Unity Christian.
Yeah, and Waterloo Columbus came back, and they had lost twice to Sumner Fredericksburg, I believe, during the regular season.
Yes.
And they come back and got on a roll after losing the first set, come right back and got on a roll and went on and won that match and moved on.
Yeah, and I think that was considered probably upset of the tournament to a point right now. So, and that was Class 2A. And then obviously here just a little bit ago as we rolled into the 3A side, you were handling the Janesville and Starmont, and Janesville looked that good, 3-0. And then obviously I just did the Holy Trinity as they just finished up on Sydney. But on the other side, and we're going to talk about him here in a minute, and I'll tell you the feel-good story.
That was 1A right there.
I'm sorry, yes, 1A. Yeah. My bad. 1A.
So you bumped us up to 3A. No, that's 1A. It's late, but we're.
But we had Hudson over here. And then, go ahead and talk about that last one, and then I'll put the feel-good story of the year here together for you.
Yeah, and Springville over Audubon. Earlier, Janesville, you talked about, they went 3-0. The coach, they had 3 players back off the all-tournament team, but she said, the new ones coming in, you don't know how they're going to react out here, and that's a big deal. So Janesville wins, Hudson wins, and Holy Trinity wins. And Janesville and Holy Trinity have had some good matches down here through the years.
Yes, they have.
And so that kind of wrapped it up with Springville winning. So we're set up with Janesville, Holy Trinity, Hudson, Springville, and 1A in the semifinals.
You betcha. So let's jump back out real quick. We're going to talk how this is going to set up tomorrow. We're going to start with 5A. We're going to roll right on down. And we'll start with, I get Cedar Falls Ankeny, and you get Centennial and West Des Moines Valley. So nothing like covering Central Iowa CIML real quick, huh?
Yes, and know those teams well.
Yes. And then we jump down to the 4A side, and I will be covering Pella and Bishop Heelan, and you will jump in with Wahlert and Xavier. And just like in the football side, we could see Pella and Xavier back to back here on the volleyball side as well. And then obviously go from there. We've got the 3A side, Union, Mount Vernon, just like we talked about, Kemper and Dyke. And I tell you what, Kemper, Dyke, New Hartford could really be a good, fun battle.
Yeah, there's a couple teams that have been down here a lot, and they won't know what it takes to
Western
play.
Christian is like 34 appearances. They're only second to Fort Dodge in the number of appearances down here. And then we jump down to Class 2A, Western Christian, Council Bluffs, St. Albert, and you've got Unity and Waterloo Columbus. The very good stuff right there as well. But then we're going to jump to 1A, and I do want to talk about these guys. Even though it'll be Janesville, Holy Trinity, Hudson, Springville, but we got to talk about Audubon. This team wasn't expected to get down here, so they didn't make any reservations for any travel plans. So they win their regional final. So in order to get these guys down here, being a first-time state qualifier, the banks in town chartered or rented a couple of charter buses and brought all of the fans that wanted to go for a free one-day ride.
Wow.
I think that is just absolutely phenomenal from them. And I tell you what, they had a good crowd. That was a great crowd behind you and in front of you tonight over here.
But, it's Iowa. That's what you expect, isn't it?
It is.
And
It's
especially
small-town Iowa.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Small-town Iowa. But I tell you what, Dar, for me, it's been a great 2 days, and I don't expect tomorrow to be anything less.
No,
So
I'm looking forward to getting some sleep and coming out tomorrow and right back at it.
that sleep thing might be a little overrated for
is
us
it?
right now.
Yeah.
So you know what? Let's wrap this thing up and let's go have a great day tomorrow.
So that's your CISN.TV wrap-up show for Wednesday.
We're joined now by Kemper coach Keith Stickrod. And Coach, coming into the match, you knew Assumption would have a good team and a lot of good hitters. What did you guys do preparing to try and get them out of system?
Yeah, we tweaked our defense a little bit. So we normally run a perimeter, so we kind of switched it to a rotational. So we covered the line a little more, knowing that they hit line quite a bit. And our big focus was to get their two outside hitters, get a block on them. And I think we got a couple nice touches on their blocks, and they're kind of a little frustrating a little bit. So that was key to it, I think.
And then we were talking a little bit earlier with your setter. Talk about her play and distributing the ball, because you've got a lot of options.
Yeah.
And talk about her play.
Yeah, excellent play. I mean, sometimes their passes aren't perfect to her, but she can chase it down and sets it to one of the three hitters. And I'm very lucky as a coach to have that. And she runs a lot in practice and, does a phenomenal job out there. So it's nice.
And let's look ahead to tomorrow. Dyke New Hartford, a real storied program. Diane does a great job there. What do you know about them, and what kind of a game do you have to knock them out?
Yeah, defensively, they are just so their defense is solid defense. Our biggest thing is to get a block on them, because they're a little shorter than us. I think we get a height advantage, but they got the probably speed and defense advantage on us. So as hitters, we're going to have to be patient. Go out there and swing away and expect some of those balls to be dug up and just go for it again. Just go after hitting. And, the thing about it is just play our game. We don't have to always worry about them and just play our games. I think we're capable of doing it.
And with the experience that your team has, having been down here so much, do you think that that's going to be a benefit too?
Yeah, we hope so. Quite not as much as Dyke, but we're getting there. We're working on it. So yeah, hopefully that works for our advantage too. Just, confidence, everything helps.
Well, Coach, congratulations.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Thank you.
I'm joined now by Kemper setter Abby Lorman, and you guys just got done sweeping a pretty good team in Davenport Assumption. Coming into the match today, what were some of the keys that you felt you guys had to do to make sure you advanced?
We needed to block. We knew we had to cover the line. We kind of switched our defense around to cover that, and they kept on going cross, which we already had someone there, so we shifted our defense for that. And we watched film on them, and we knew a lot about their hitters. We knew they had two really good hitters, and we just had to block, and just come in confident. So.
And then going in, you've got so many weapons to choose from. How do you distribute the ball? What's going through your mind when you're going up there? Do I go forward? Do I come back? How do you determine where you're going to go with the ball?
I don't know. I mean, I just try to go fast offense. If there's if I have one of the three taller middles there, I try to just shoot it at them, just to run the fast offense, because other teams can't expect that. So.
And now, coming up in the semifinals, you guys are going to take on Dyke New Hartford, a very storied team. I know you haven't had any time to really think about it yet, but what are you looking forward to in playing a team like Dyke New Hartford?
Well, we watched them right before our game, and their back row is phenomenal too, so we just can't get down on ourselves. We just got to keep on hitting and just put balls down.
Well, Abby, congratulations on the win, and good luck in that match tomorrow.
Thank you.
And now we're joined by Assumption coach Bree Schurler, and coming in, you knew that Kemper is just so long, a lot of size. Coming into the match, what were you going to try and slow them down?
I think some of our game plan was to serve aggressively, and we did that at some points, but we really knew that they had those three taller hitters that we wanted to push on our blocks. Our blocks weren't as solid as we wanted to. We've really been prepping hard on that, but if we could get them out of rhythm and slow them down and frustrate them, I think that was our main goal. It's a bummer that the cards weren't in our favor and that, but my girls, they did a great job, and I told them to just leave it all on the court and take all your frustrations out there and then move on.
And in the first set, they jumped out real quick, and then it just seemed like you couldn't quite get caught up.
Yep.
But you had several short runs in there. What were you doing to try and get those runs going?
So I was committing to our outside hitters hitting cross court because they have quite a formidable block up there. And so we kind of took advantage of whenever they had a little bit smaller of a player in the middle front blocking and to just swing cross court. So we knew that if our two main hitters, who are my outside hitters that were hitting line, that probably wasn't an option for us. And moving that set around a little bit at a quicker pace was going to help potentially slow down their block.
And talk about the play of your set, or having to try and move things around and accomplish what you were talking about.
Yeah, Liz is such a stud. She's a great athlete. She hustles on and off the court. She's probably the one that's the most athletic and the most fit. She's a multi-sport athlete, but our passing wasn't as pristine as I want it to be, but she handled it very well. She did a lot of pivoting and reacting and moving, but Liz did a great job. She's one of our senior captains. She's our floor captain, and she just adjusts and adapts, and she did a great job tonight.
And then talk about your seniors. You got some great seniors that helped get you here.
Yeah, so our three senior captains, which are Julie Hughes-Camps, our outside hitter, Sophie Van Severen, who's our libero, and then Liz Fenley, who's our setter. They play together ever since sophomores on the varsity squad. So you can see they have that great chemistry, and it's nice that they can make those sophomore and our younger kids kind of elevate to their level. You know, they try as hard as they can not to internalize and let those errors eat themselves up. You know, they're only human. But they do a great job leading this team, and the girls react and adapt to them, and they try as hard as they can to emulate that senior leadership and to emulate just the aggressiveness that they show and they bring to the court.
But now look ahead to next year. You got a lot of girls coming back, so I mean,
Yeah.
some big holes to fill, but you've got a lot of girls. So talk about the future of Assumption.
Yeah, so it's nice that half of our lineup are indeed sophomores, but we have some juniors on the bench as well that didn't see a lot of court time this year strictly because of our senior leadership, but they challenge our girls so much in practice, and they are itching to take those spots. So number 23, Lindsay, our outside hitter, it's been great having her these last two seasons on varsity. She's been averaging in the high 500s, 700s for hitting efficiency, so that's a bright future for her. And we're really pushing our girls to, you know, play club volleyball, get a little bit better, and grow and expand on their volleyball skills. And I'm hoping with a lot more time playing together in the off season and during season next year that we can create that chemistry that we had this year.
Well, Bree, congratulations on a great season.
Thank you.
And good luck in the future.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Danielson here for CISN.TV, talking with Shelly Sorensen, head coach of the Janesville Wildcats. You won your opener to start the defense of the state title, and a little jitters starting off, but you
Right.
kind of got the offense going then, huh?
Right, you know, there's always pressure, but made a few unforced errors, but Starmont forced that. They had great defense and kept the ball in play, and forced our hitters to, you know, settle down and take more than one swing in order to try to terminate a play.
Is that what you tell them? You took a timeout and just kind of told them, you know, slow it down and.
Right, and just make good choices, you know, and just keep finding the open spots. And they also had some, we had trouble blocking a couple of their hitters as well, and we had to adjust our defense for that as well.
For them coming in, it's, you know, first year down here, and they played pretty well, because it can be intimidating, and
Right.
you know how that is the first time you get down here,
Right,
and they
right.
really played really well.
Right,
didn't
they did play well, put a lot of pressure on, played great defense, and what's more impressive is they play a lot of sophomores, so they're going to be strong again next year.
I talked with some of your players. They said they're going to look at film for the next game, maybe watch the other games and
Right.
get prepared. And what do you do as a coach to prepare for the
Same
next round?
thing, you know, we'll stick around and watch this game and then go home and break down film and just look for anything that we could use from the film to see if we need to make adjustments on defense, our blocking schemes, and just our matchups, and anything you can use to try to get an advantage.
Well, we had a lot of fans here. I know a lot of them probably watching tonight. Hopefully they're not too critical of my call of the game.
It'll be interesting. We'll watch that and see how that goes.
But good
It's
to
pretty
talk.
simple, you know, when the ball drops on
Doesn't
one
work.
side, the other side gets a point, so.
Is that the way it works?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
simple thing.
Well, okay, got to give me a hard time. Former classmate Shelly
Yeah.
Sorensen here, the Janesville Wildcats. They've started their defense of the state title here. Congratulations on
Thank
that,
you.
and we'll see you tomorrow night in
Thank you.
semifinals.
Great seeing you again. Thank you.
Danielson here with Jillian Gergen. The Wildcats go 3-0 to sweep in their opener and their defense of their state title. You say that, and that's how much pressure were you feeling in coming back and being the target on you, Jillian?
It's a lot of pressure to be back in the tournament because everyone's watching us, everyone's looking at us, everyone's scouting us. So we just have to play our game and show them that what we are made of.
You came out a little slow start, but then you got that offense cranked up. It seemed, ran off some points, and then did you kind of get in a groove there?
Yes, we did. I think in the beginning we were all nervous and had some jitters. We have a lot of new faces on the court, and last year some of the players were role players, but now they're actually starters, so I think they just had to get the nerves out, and then everyone just relaxed and we worked as a team.
Yeah, because it's hard to describe, to them what it's like when you step out here. There's two courts going, all the fans screaming and that. It's hard to describe that to them, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very hard. I mean, we tried ways to get them used to it. We would play loud music in the gym where we couldn't even hear each other. We watched film from state just to get used to the environment, but it's not the same when you get here. It's really different.
Okay, well, what do you do now to prepare for the next round?
Watch film. Watch film and scout, and I know we're going to stay here and watch the 8 o'clock matches. So.
Okay. All right. Well, Jillian Gergen, thanks. Congratulations on the opening round win.
Thank you.